So, fellas, the day finally came after like 6 years on and off. Honestly, I wasn't going to college for like the first 2 years completely, the entire way through. But about 6 years on and off, I got my bachelor's degree after being in the Marine Corps for 4 years. And I'm definitely not gonna say that it was easy, but I am not a person that likes to study. Let's say that I'm not. I don't sit in class and I can't pay attention the entire way through. Class is very boring for me, so I was definitely labeled as a lazy kid in high school, and saw myself as lazy for a good portion of my life. So after the military, or during the military, I definitely didn't think I was going to go to college, but it seemed like the easiest path forward to move on to the next step of my life, mostly because the military would be providing an easy way for me to go to college. So with that being said, me kind of classifying myself as a lazy person, I know a lot of us do, a lot of us don't want to be in class. So being lazy is a title that we all take, and I want to make this video mostly for the people that feel that they're lazy, and kind of give some tips on how to be a lazy person and still pass school with good grades. I was for the most part a B plus student. I should be graduating with honors. I'm just waiting on my last grade over here. I'm a 3.2 GPA, which is pretty good. I mean, coming from somebody that did completely horrible in high school and just didn't really apply themselves, I think that's pretty good. And I don't even think I did too much work. Like, I wasn't studying every day. I think that everybody can probably at least be like a B average student if you put in a little bit of work. And the two main components that you're gonna need for the points that I'm gonna get across are, for the most part, preparation and interest. With the points that I'm gonna give you, they're gonna help you get prepared for school and for the subject that you're getting into. But if you're not interested in the subject that you're getting into, like if you just pick the subject just to go to college, then this isn't gonna work too well for you, because you're gonna want to be interested in the subject, because you're gonna want to go out of your way to be involved and get a lot of extra information. So to get the video started, this is my top lazy ways to study, easier ways to study instead of having to sit there for hours and read a textbook or read documentation. These are my top tips on being a lazy studier. So number one is YouTube University. YouTube is your friend. I think the best way to learn about a subject is to be completely immersed in their community. And the internet has hundreds of millions of communities on all different types of subjects, all anything you can think of, and guaranteed they have a huge community on whatever subject you're going to school for. So my first recommendation is going on YouTube. This is what I chose. You could go to Reddit, Twitter, whatever social media or community-based website app that you want to go to, and just be involved. I mean, you don't have to, like, go on Reddit and post or anything, but you want to, if you're on YouTube, you want to follow the main creators talking about your subject. You want to follow the smaller creators. You want to curate your YouTube algorithm, your feed, everything that's being given to you, for the most part, to be about that subject, because of course the more that you see the subject, the more you're gonna know about it. And it also reminds you. So like, if you're someone like me that goes on YouTube regularly, so this is why you should probably pick the app that you go on, or the website that you go on a lot. But if I go to YouTube, and I went to school for computers, right? So if I go to YouTube, and on my explore page or on my front page, just a bunch of stuff about computer science and like programming and IT and stuff, then I'm more likely to click on the video and see, oh, like, what's going on here? Microsoft dropped this new quantum computer thing, or just interesting things about computers that are gonna pop up on my YouTube. And I'd be more inclined to watch content about my subject. This would really play into preparing you for all the classes that you're going to take. Especially, for example, when I first started taking my technology classes, I knew a little bit about computers, but I didn't know a lot. So I went on YouTube and I just started watching YouTube videos. I started watching Primeagen. I took a course, the CS50 from Harvard. It's a free course that you can take. If you take free courses, that's great. I watch a lot of, who else? I watched a lot of Leak Code videos back in the day, because he was just a lot of programming in the beginning. But yeah, you really want to make sure that you're getting into these communities and being a sponge, especially because content on the internet, I mean, not always, but good content on the internet is usually better than the stuff that you're getting in school. Of course, it depends on the teacher and everything, but like for the most part, not most part, but a lot of classes, you're just gonna get like a death by PowerPoint, or you're gonna get some really boring class. So it's a lot easier to digest when you can find somebody that, on top of teaching you the material, is also trying to be entertaining, because they're on the internet and they're trying to build their own audience. So make sure that you're in communities like on YouTube, based on your subject. My second point, which is kind of off the first point, when you're getting ready to study for, let's say, tests, midterms, quizzes, it's a lot easier to get into studying by starting it with watching a YouTube video about your subject, or maybe just reading something on the internet about your subject, instead of going into studying it. Because I could never just go straight into reading the lecture slides or anything like that. That stuff is so boring. So it was so much easier to go on the internet, go on YouTube more specifically, and just watch a YouTube video about the material first, and then get in on it later when I'm already kind of primed to go into studying and think about that kind of stuff. Another point, another product that you could use is ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT not in the way that you're thinking. You guys probably think like, yeah, of course I use it too, man. I fucking get all the answers. No, use ChatGPT to build you study guides, so you can use to build you cheat sheets, to explain to you how to do. I use ChatGPT to explain everything for me. It step by step. I read everything. It's so much easier, because for technology, for programming, for IT stuff, like, you have to go on the internet and you have to look up a lot of documentation, because there's so much technology out there. It's so much easier to get ChatGPT to explain all that stuff and find all the links for you, instead of having to waste your time. And another big one, having ChatGPT test you on everything that you're learning. Just have ChatGPT read your lecture slides for you, and then tell it to build a test for you and ask you questions one at a time, give you multiple choice questions, short answer questions. I did it all the time with every semester, and on that in itself, that made tests so much easier, so much, 100 times easier. If you can test yourself and then also have ChatGPT explain it a little bit better, and then also have ChatGPT give you easy ways to like remember something. So like, always ask ChatGPT to give you like a tip on how to remember things. It'll give you like, what are the acronyms, or not acronyms, but is it anagrams? Is it anagrams, where like they give you like a sentence that you can remember it by? Like, for example, never eat soggy worms is to remember on northeast southwest, like one of those things. I don't know if it's an anagram. An acronym is a word made up of letters that actually mean other words or sentences, but an N or whatever it is, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. What you do not want to use ChatGPT for is just getting the answers. You guys do not want it. For example, guys that are just using it to get code, you do not want to do that. If you don't know what's going on, you want to have ChatGPT maybe give you the answers, but if they do, at least it has to explain everything for you, right? Like, you have to make sure that you understand it. Don't let it just give you the answers. Make sure that you are getting something out of it. I don't agree with people that think that AI is completely cheating, because we are at a point where AI, and probably ChatGPT, because OpenAI is so big right now, that it's going to be with us for a very, very long. AI is going to be with us for, that's probably for the rest of the time that humanity has technology. But it's going to be with us forever. So like, it's important to start using these tools and get used to using them, but don't let them just do all the work for you, because you'll get phased out like that immediately. And then the very last thing, the very last tip, to, I know like a lazy person probably wouldn't go out and do this, but guys, if you can get an internship a second that you get to college, in whatever field they're going into, and any internship, of course, because then you get real world experience, and there's nothing like that when you actually know how to do something. It transfers so well into tests, because you just know it. You can picture it in your head what you're doing way better than if you just know words of theory and how things are supposed to work, right? So get an internship for the subject that you're going into as soon as possible. I personally recommend getting an internship where you can stay there as long as possible, and they treat you like an employee, instead of like those 3-month summer internships, or those short internships, because I feel like in those they just treat you like an intern, and you end up just getting somebody's like coffee or something where like that, or like getting like intern projects. When you get an internship where you're there for a long time, they kind of are more likely to get to they're more likely to treat you like an employee and give you, the longer that you're there, they give you more responsibility. And of course, I mean, it's up to you guys and how your internship search is going, but always try to get a paid one, because you're gonna be there a lot of time throughout the week. You're gonna spend a lot of time throughout the week over there, so it's important that you're at least being compensated a little bit. But those are the tips that I have to be the laziest student with the highest grade in the class. It's what I did. I don't think that's too much work like that you're asking for. This is your career at the end of it, but I also don't think you have to break your back or break your brain to, really have decent grades. Of course, you could do a lot less than this and probably get like a C plus. Of course, you're also studying. You should study too, but like I didn't do much studying. Mostly did this. I try to have a good understanding of the subject beforehand. Like when I went into computer networks, I already had a good understanding about computer networks, and that's like you do that as a third year. So it's just important to have like a good understanding of everything. Be prepared for a class before you even get to the class. So for example, if I'm taking computer networks next summer or next semester, I could watch a few videos about computer networks. Like it doesn't have to be a 50 video like playlist or anything, but watch a couple videos, or you could do the 50 video playlist. Like why not? Like you're gonna get into it, and if you know it beforehand, you're gonna do so much better the next time because it's the second time you're doing it. But that is it for the video, guys. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, and if you're not sub, hit that sub, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.